Hey guys, it's Saru, and I didn't really think I'd be covering this game. I think I made maybe one article on it 2 years ago. In fact, I did on Sarumonin.com. Not that I really do a lot of coverage on that website these days, but 2 years ago I covered this game talking about Archeage 2 and the fact that Kakao Games is working with XL Games and there's a brand new Unreal Engine 5 game in development. Now, the interesting thing about that is there's news, and it looks like this is going to be coming to console as well. So let's get right into it. Now recently, and by recently I mean literally yesterday, don't know why I didn't just say yesterday guys, but yesterday, a new video came out from Kakao Games talking about Archeage 2, and they called it their first official trailer, and it's in Korean, but thanks to Google Translate, by right-clicking on the page, I could see what it says, roughly. So the video basically is about the game, what's going on, a little bit of news and updates, so I wanted to share that with you guys in case you haven't seen it. You most likely have, and if you haven't seen the video, then maybe subscribe to the channel. God knows I need subscribers, Jesus Christ. As for my voice, I am feeling a little off right now, so I apologize for that, but let's watch the video and see what it's all about.
네, 아케이지 2는 전 세계적으로 많은 사랑을 받은 아케이지의 후속작으로 심리스 오픈월드 액션 MMORPG입니다. PC와 콘솔에서 플레이할 수 있는 멀티 플랫폼으로 개발하고 있습니다. 아케이지 2는 액션성 높은 전투를 최우선적으로 개발을 하고 있고요. 또 몰입감 있는 스토리를 위해서 연출을 강화하고 있습니다. 그리고 언리얼 5를 이용한 트리플 A급의 비주얼을 추구하고 있고, 또 비선형적인 진행이 가능한 심리스 오픈월드 게임입니다. 세계관은 공유를 하는데 아케이지 1과 똑같은 스토리가 진행되는 건 아니고요. 아케이지 1은 이제 큰 서사 적인 이야기를 다루었다면은 이제 2에서는 이제 개인적인 모험, 개인적인 스토리에 중점을 둔 이야기로 진행이 될 예정이고요. 아키 1과 비슷한 시점인데 이제 원대륙이 처음 발견되고 사람들이 이제 거기 정착을 하기 시작한 약간 서부 개척 시대 같은 느낌이 나는 그런 시점입니다. 예전에 고대 문명이 있었는데 이제 오랫동안 사람들이 살지 않았기 때문에 이제 버려진 상태로 몇천 년이 지나다 보니 이제 자연 환경이 다시 울창해지고 그런 걸 갖다가 이제 점점 탐험해 나가면서 옛날 고대 문명을 다시 발견하게 되고 거기에 얽힌 어떤 비밀들을 다시 풀어나가는 이러한 스토리로 진행이 될 예정입니다. 아키 1에서 이제 무역 컨텐츠가 있었는데 이게 많은 분들이 또 재밌어하고 많은 분들이 즐기시던 컨텐츠인데 뭐 또 여러 가지 문제도 많이 있었습니다. 아키 2에서는 이제 그 부분을 많이 개성을 해서 혼자서 할 수 있는 무역, 또 팀 단위로 할 수 있는 무역, 또 많은 사람이 참가하는 레이드 단위로 할 수 있는 무역 등등을 만들 예정으로 있습니다. 또 굉장히 이제 인기 있었던 시그네처 같은 컨텐츠가 이제 생활 컨텐츠, 하우징 이쪽 컨텐츠인데 아키 2에서는 이제 당연히 이쪽 컨텐츠를 계승해서 하우징의 커스터마이제이션을 더 많이 할 수 있게 해준다든가 또 원하는 사람들끼리 모여서 길드 단위로 이제 하우징 타운 단위로 이제 할 수 있게 해준다라든가 그런 쪽으로 개선시킬 예정입니다. 아케이지를 사랑해 주신 전 세계 많은 유저 여러분들께 감사 인사드리고요. 아케이지 2로 여러분들과 다시 만나기 위해서 개발팀이 진짜 열심히 일하고 있습니다. 많은 성원과 응원 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
So immediately the game looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I was blown away. I love the first Archeage. I think it was one of the few MMORPGs that I went in and I went hardcore in. And the moment they introduced certain things like the Thunderstruck trees in the cash shop, I, like many other players, basically quit the game at that point and said, F this. But there were reasons for that. I mean, and if players never played Archeage, at that point, pretty much Thunderstruck trees were used for creating armor and ships that were specific to the game that were really needed for endgame stuff, and you were supposed to grind it and plant all these trees for a chance for the sky to hit the tree with thunder and then create Thunderstruck trees. So it was a low chance. Players were all planting trees everywhere. I remember this. There were pirates, which were other players basically, that would be looking for these trees and try to kill people for them. But our guild specifically, like, we were huge and we had our own little section where we would have a just endless forest basically, and we had all these trees, and then just a few days later they would release the cash shop variant where you could basically get them from the cash shop. So at that point we had, don't know how I got into that story. The game looked absolutely amazing. I mean, these are cinematics, although I did see some gameplay without any display system, but that's okay. Don't know if that's actually going to be cinematic or not. The sea, land, and air system, I know it was introduced into this video because, I mean, a lot of that was actually in Archeage originally. We had the land system, obviously, with mounts and what have you, which is so funny about that, but I will mention that afterwards. And then you had this sea system, you know, at that time, previous to Black Desert, or around the same time, I would say, where Black Desert had, you know, ships that we would build and go out to do naval warfare. Archeage pretty much had this at the forefront and had this before Black Desert did. I'd like to think that Black Desert actually built off of this, and now Archeage 2 is saying, you know what, let's get back to business. So I did notice the caravan-like system, so the trade system that we had in Archeage 1, and it looks cool. I mean, everything looks great. I'm not really going to talk about the systems and features that we can see obviously in the video because you guys aren't blind. You saw what I saw. The monsters look amazing. The combat looks great. Skills and the systems that are available, and the fact that it's action combat. Now, previously, if you're watching this video and didn't play Archeage 1, the first one was tab target. So it was very old school. It was a pretty old MMORPG, let's be honest. But it was pretty old school. So to see this a few years later, I feel old, first of all, because the graphics look amazing and it's action combat. So this could be the next big MMORPG and possibly break Black Desert finally. Not that it should. I mean, Black Desert, I'm really happy for them. Pearl Abyss went and took the game, coincidentally, from Kakao Games and made their own game again. Now it looks like Sephiroth makes an appearance in this game. Not actually. You guys are going to be like, oh my goodness, Nintendo? No, that's another character. One, I have no idea who it is, but it was featured, so it must be important. I have no idea. I'm sure somebody will probably tell me or not. But it looks like Archeage 2 will be an action combat MMORPG for both PC and consoles. And it's really cool to see that consoles are being included into development these days because we really didn't see that before, right? We didn't see that with the PlayStation 4 cycle nor the Xbox One cycle. When starting this channel, I came from the PlayStation 4, you know, into the PlayStation 5, and now I'm on PC, but I'm hoping to get back into PS5 stuff as well, but there just really isn't a lot to cover over there other than, you know, the usual MMOs. So this is very different from the first game for sure. Like I said, it was previously tab targeting, wasn't really open world. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Now, other than the open world experience, it's going to be using Unreal Engine 5. And this is one of the few MMORPGs that are currently being developed in Unreal Engine 5. Other than Into the Echo, Ashes of Creation, and a couple of others that I'm going to be missing, this may be one of the pioneers for the MMORPG genre using the Unreal Engine 5 system. They do recognize there were flaws in the trade system in Archeage 1, which there was quite a bit. They want to enhance it in Archeage 2. They want to make it more fun for players to allow even up to raids to cover that, which I already see flaws in, because I do remember in Archeage 1 when we had the trade system, there were routes that players would almost block off in order to harass other players to kind of steal their stuff, which was part of the game. You know, we had the pirate system basically, so that was a thing. Now, the same thing goes for the housing system, which did have its major flaws. I think it continues to have it to this day. Whenever plots were available, bots would just go in and take him instantly. But it looks like housing will allow players to create even towns with guild members or live in towns with their friends, or lots of customizations. A lot of things weren't mentioned in this video, from the pay to win, from the constant restart servers and weird management that Kakao has had in the past. Now, I do admit that previously Archeage has had its issues. I think it was with Tryon before. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember anymore. It could have been with Tryon, but they eventually went over to Kakao Games, and Kakao Games has not had the best history when it comes to publishing games such as Allion or even the current Archeage, actually. So I'm not really sure what's going to change, or if anything's going to change at all, in terms of the moderation style, the management style, the business model, pay to win in general. Now, in the beginning of the video, remember I said there was sea, land, and air, and we saw horses like mounts. The reason I found that really funny is one of the major reasons Ashes of Creation is currently in development was because Steven Sharif from Ashes of Creation, who's the director, the guy that literally created Intrepid Studios, was extremely tired of the loot box system, specifically in Archeage. He was huge in Archeage, you know, he was one of the big guys with a huge guild, and obviously he's a millionaire, you know, he spent a lot of money, but he got tired of the loot boxes trying to get a specific mount, and he said, you know what, F this, I'm making my own MMORPG. So it's really funny for me to see mounts and not think, you know, your system ended up making one of the most anticipated MMORPGs probably of all time. So we'll see what happens there, that's for sure. But we do know that the expected date for Archeage 2 is for 2024, and that will be coming both to PC and console. I don't think there's ever going to be any crossplay between these two. There is a huge disparity between the two systems, at least if I'm thinking of like Archeage 1, but if there's any similarity in Archeage 2, I don't think that's ever going to happen, but that's okay. It has its own things. What I would like to see, however, if there is any crossplay, maybe between the PlayStation and the Xbox system, that would be really interesting. That would be probably very fair. Between PC and console, that probably wouldn't happen. And if it does, I don't really know how they're going to handle that. So for those that are really interested in consoles or for PC, or looking forward to brand new MMORPGs, you have this one, Archeage 2, coming in 2024. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about the game, whether or not you're going to be playing it. Let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable f***ing bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.